Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer. My friends call me Miss DeWalt. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make these cute snowmen out of 2x4 scraps. You could use any scrap wood that you have laying around. I'm always working with pallets, so I have a bunch of boards, and I always like to find a project that uses them up. So it's a couple of days before Christmas, and I could use a couple little gifts to give to people, and this is the perfect thing to make because it's very easy, very inexpensive. I saw a picture on Pinterest, and I just kind of made up my own measurements, so I'm going to share those with you. What I did was took a 2x4, and my first cut was a 9. It's real easy. First cut is a 9-inch, an 8-inch, a 7-inch, 6-inch, and then 2 4-inch pieces. This is going to be the face, and then there's a 3-inch piece that's going to be the top hat, and then I had just extra plywood sheeting laying around. And I cut these, they're 5 inches by 4.5. So that is the top of that hat. It goes like this. And you can go about these directions anyway. What I'm going to do first, because I want to basically attach these and then build from the top down. So I'm going to first be attaching the hat. You might need to sand, like when I cut these 2x4s, I have a few rough edges. So the first thing I'm going to do is sand that. So I'm actually going to be making 2 while I'm doing this because I'm handing them out as presents. But with anything, you always want to find, which is the nicest side. You want that to be up. Okay, that's a nice side. The underside is real rough. So I'm going to make sure that those are the tops. They're going to go in like that. I always want to have my nice side facing forward, and I do. Okay, so this is going to go together a little differently than the rest of it. For the rest, I'm going to use glue and screws. For the top, and you can do this any way you want. If you want to attach this, I'm leery about using a screw because you're going into this end and you probably could split the wood. Much easier than you could when you're going to be doing it on that side of the board. So for these, what I'm going to do is put a shot of glue. Shh, I'm talking low. So I'm just going to put a shot of glue on that surface. And you center them. I apologize if you hear a cat meowing in the background. I adopted another stray. I can't say no to anybody. All right. Yeah, and you're a sweet boy. That's centered pretty well. So I put my glue. I'm going to flip it upside down. And I'm going to shoot a couple brad nails. These are about, I don't know, maybe 1.25 inches. I'm just going to shoot a couple. So once you have your top hats assembled, the next part is to paint them. And you can do, like I have black spray paint, but it's cold outside and windy, and I'm not about to go out and spray paint out there. So I just have regular gloss, acrylic black. This is anything you can find at any, like Walmart, any craft store, probably, actually I've seen this stuff at Dollar General. So I'm going to paint these and set them aside, and then start working on painting the white. This is one of those deals with the bottom side only a small, like the perimeter is going to show. So if you don't want to waste paint basically where the snowman's head is, you really don't have to. My little top hats are drying over here, and I swear to God, I'm like the world's messiest painter. I think I'm going to do this a little different order than I did yesterday, because I think that in my mind it will waste less paint and hopefully be a little neater. What I did yesterday was painted all of the white pieces and then attached them, and as I was working with it, I kind of messed up some of the paint, putting the screws and everything in and the fasteners. So in theory, I'm going to try it a different way this time. You can do this in any order that you want to, but I think what I'm going to do is paint just the first 4-inch piece, which is going to be this piece right here. That way, when it's dried, I can attach it to the top hat, attach all the other pieces unpainted, and then paint it white all at one time. So if you want to do it in the order I did it yesterday, like I said, I painted the top hat, painted all the white, and then went ahead and assembled it. That's up to you. You're going to end up with the same result. And there you have it. Both of the 4-inch pieces that are going to be the top of the head are painted just around the perimeter. I'm going to go ahead and let those dry, and I will be back in about 15 minutes to finish. After these pieces are dry, you're ready to move on to the next step. So basically what you're going to do is put the top hat down, take one of your 4-inch pieces, and remember to put the nicest looking side forward. You just center it on the top of the top hat. I'm always concerned about driving a screw into that end of a 2x4. So you could either attach it with a screw, or if you want, you could use brad nails. I know this is Boss Stitch. I do have a DeWalt brad nailer, which I love, but it's out in my other shop. I'm going to take a chance though, and I think I'm going to attach these anyway with a screw going through this side of a 2x4. So just... I'm going to pre-drill and drive these are just 3-inch drywall screws. Okay. A little glue that seeped out. Okay, I attached it and it doesn't look like it. I kind of listened for it. I didn't hear anything breaking. So I think we're good to go. I'm just going to put one because, like I said, it's kind of iffy. So then what you do is go ahead and put the other 4-inch one on top of that. This is going to be the front. And I like that side. So being that my screw is right there in the middle, I'm going to have to stagger the next screw somewhere else. So that's a nice piece of the wood. And I'm going to feel, everything feels nice and lined up. If you have clamps, you can use clamps right here to hold it in place. Okay, I'm going to sink that a little bit too. Okay, so at that point, that is actually going to be the Frosty's head. So this is what we have so far. You have your top hat and your 2 4-inch pieces, and then you continue to build. You're going to gradually get larger as you go to the top, which is actually the bottom. Okay, so you have your 2 4-inch pieces, and then the next one is going to be the 6-inch piece. And just use some glue and another screw. And I'm going to put the best looking side forward and center. And if you need to use your tape measure here, you should have an inch overhang on either side. Okay, next is your 7-inch piece. Nice side forward, and here you're going to have a 1/2 inch overhang on each side. And hereafter. As you get into these bigger pieces, you could use 2 screws if you want to. Okay, we're getting towards the bottom of our snowman. So this is the 8-inch piece. Glue and screw. Okay. All right, one more. Lastly, your 9-inch piece. This is actually getting too tall for me to work on this table. I'm short, I'm only 5'3", so for me to get over top of that, I need to move it back here. And because this base is so big, I'm actually going to put 2 screws in the bottom of this. there you have it. The body is fully formed. I am going to go ahead now and paint the rest of the body of the snowman white. I think it'll be a lot easier that way. Like I said yesterday, I painted everything, but then when you're working on it, you're scuffing it, you just mess it up. So I ended up having to paint it basically twice. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint that, and then we'll move on to the next step, which is decorating. Having painted this both ways, I can tell you that it is easiest to just do the top, assemble it, and then paint it all at one time once it's assembled. You have the hat you can hang on to. You're not getting a lot on your hands like I did the first run through. So I would, going forward, do it this way. It definitely is a time saver. You're not over painting it, trying to guess what's gonna show. So yeah, I definitely would advise doing it the way I did it this second time. After the body of your snowman is made, this is really up to you how you want to decorate it. What I ended up doing was taking my drill bit and drilling holes in the, what inch piece is that? 9, 8, in the 7-inch piece. And I made these sticks removable for arms because I'm going to give these as presents. And when you go to store them after Christmas, you don't want to have these breaking off and then that hole is plugged. What I did was used a crayon for the carrot nose. I took like, I don't know, this is about 1.5 inch piece of an orange crayon and I whittled it down on the end. I put a shot of hot glue on the actual snowman and then waited a couple seconds for that hot glue to kind of cool off a little bit. Otherwise the crayon would melt, but it worked if you just wait a couple seconds. Then I used buttons for the eyes and for the mouth as well, and then buttons here, buttons for the holly. This scarf and then this little piece up here on the hat are just old sweaters that I had during the 4th of July. I found sweaters and made flag pillows. And then I always like to keep those cutoffs because you can use scraps for things like this. So really it's up to you how you want to decorate your snowman. But I'm going to do a little time lapse decorating these two, and then I'll show a closing shot. So I hope that you make these. If you do, please find me on Instagram. I'm at Miss DeWalt. If you would please share your pictures with me, and then I'll share them to my stories. But I hope this was helpful. I hope that you actually do this product. I hope that I inspired somebody, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Take care.